There was a day I should have died. Flatline, gone, done. Game over. Except it wasn't. I came back, but the man I was before, he didn't. For 6 years, I wandered through the wreckage of who I used to be. The competitor, dead. The fighter, gone. The dreams, buried. And for the first time, I had to ask myself a question I never thought I'd face. Who the hell am I if I'm not chasing the fight? I cried, I grieved, I broke, but I didn't stay down. Because if the old me is dead, then that means I get to build something even greater. I don't rebuild, I reinvent. I don't recover, I evolve. This is not a comeback, this is a resurrection. Grieving the competitor. I've cried every day this month, 19 days in a row. Some days harder than others, but every single day without fail, the tears have come. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm proud of it. Because for the first time, I finally given myself permission to grieve. For 2 months, I've mourned the competitor I used to be. I've sat with the reality that I would never be him again. That version of me, the one who lived and breathed for competition, for the fight, for the dream, is gone. And I accept that. But grief doesn't stop with what you've lost. It digs deeper. And as I mourn my old self, I realized something else. I've never truly had a home. The illusion of identity. I used to think identity was something you created, that if you looked a certain way, acted a certain way, people would see you the way you wanted to be seen. So I went all in. In high school, I was flashy. I wore suits. I collected cashmere sweaters in every color. I got a job at a men's department store just for the discounts, just to build the image. And I loved it. Looking good mattered. I got my hair braided every week, sometimes twice, because I couldn't look the same on Friday as I did on Monday. That would be boring. Then I got tired. I realized something that changed me forever. No matter what I wore, people treated me the same. The admiration, the attention, the perception, it was all a game. And I was playing against myself. Because no matter what, I was winning. And then the line from Fight Club hit me like a brick. Standing there dressed up in front of all these people, picking my hair. You are not your fucking khakis. So I stripped it all away. I stopped getting my hair done. I sold my clothes. And when I was done shedding that version of myself, I left. I walked away from everything I knew. The search for something real. I left Memphis because I had to. Not because of my family. My 2 sisters always supported me. My mom too. Even if she was hesitant, she just made sure I had a cell phone so she could reach me. My dad thought I was insane, but that wasn't it. I left because I had no home. Not in the sense of 4 walls and a roof. Not in the sense of family. I mean a place where I belonged. So I searched for it the only way I knew how, by disappearing. I bounced from place to place, training in any gym that would take me in. I carried only what I needed. Fight gear, a few shirts, just enough to keep moving. I didn't want stability. I didn't need it. My idea was my idea of happiness was simple. It was freedom. And I lived it every day. I trained. I traveled. I fought. I didn't care about being a pro fighter. Didn't care about making money that way. I just loved it. I didn't care about making a name for myself. I didn't care about the fame or titles or money. I just wanted to fight. To test myself every day. To wake up in a new city, find a new gym, and prove that I belonged anywhere I set my foot. And that was everything I ever wanted. Everything. People didn't understand. People still don't understand. They thought I was lost. They thought I was reckless. But they were wrong. Because for the first time in my life, I was truly happy. I was free. I could do what I dreamed. I lived my dream. The fall that took everything, April 4th, 2018, the day I should have died, the day everything I had built, everything I had sacrificed, everything I had become was ripped away from me. I flatlined. Gone. Done. Game over. Except it wasn't. Because I came back. But part of me still thinks that was the end of my story. That was the day my story ended. Not in the way people mean when they talk about near-death experiences. Not in the sense of seeing the light or hearing voices call you home. But in the quiet way, a storm settles after spending every ounce of its rage. That day broke me. Because I wasn't just losing the competition. I wasn't just stepping away from a sport. I was losing everything that made me feel alive. And you know what the hardest part was? Realizing there was nothing I could do to get it back. Let's talk about the fight after the fight. People think the hardest thing is pushing through pain, training past exhaustion, getting up after a loss. Nah. The hardest thing is waking up and realizing the life you loved is no longer an option. That no amount of discipline, no amount of willpower, no amount of sheer stubbornness can bring that back. And so I did the only thing I could. I survived. I spent 6 years trying to understand why. 6 years fighting an opponent I couldn't see, couldn't hit, couldn't outlast. And I tried everything. I tried to distract myself. I tried to rebuild. I tried to tell myself that I could chase something else. But the truth, I was lost. Not in the way people mean when they say, I don't know what I want. Not in the way that implies confusion or indecision. I was lost in the sense that I no longer knew who the hell I was. Now, the resurrection. But here's what I understand now. Yes, that version of me is gone. Yes, the dreams I had before are no longer an option. Yes, I had to say goodbye to the life I once lived. But I'm still here. And that means I get to decide. I get to decide what happens next. And if the old version of me is dead, then I will rebuild something even greater. If my old dreams have been buried, then I will create a new one. If I can't have what was stolen from me, then I will take what's next by force. Because I don't believe in staying down. I never did. I don't believe in looking back. I don't believe in wishing. I don't wish for things to be different. The past was the foundation. The past built me. But this next chapter, I write it in fire. I forge it with steel. I carve it out of blood, sweat, and the relentless pursuit. Like I've done everything else. And if you think I'm stopping now, you haven't been paying attention. Like you really haven't been paying attention.